Mike Tyson versus Logan Paul. Oh, this is going to get under a few people's skin, but not mine, not this guy here. And I'm going to tell you why that I think this makes sense for both Mike Tyson and for Logan Paul. And, you know, you'll probably disagree with us. A lot of people do. You probably will when it comes to the YouTube boxing. I get people disagreeing with us all the time. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Tony Jeffries. I'm an Olympic bronze medalist boxer. And this is my second YouTube channel where I talk all about boxing and the fight game. So if you like boxing, like listening to different views and talking about fights and predictions, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And also if you subscribe to my other channel, subscribe to this channel as well. So let's get into it. It's been rumoured that in February 2022, the Iron Mike Tyson, the legend of boxing, is going to be having an exhibition fight with YouTuber Logan Paul. And this is something I've spoke about on previous videos before when I've been talking about Logan Paul with his fight with Floyd Mayweather. And I've had Logan Paul's trainer, Milton Supreme, on my other channel talking all about his experience and how he was training Logan for the Floyd Mayweather fight, and I mentioned this to him. Is this going to happen? And he was basically saying no. But that was a good few months ago. And now, you know, Mike Tyson has said he's going to be coming back to fight or have an exhibition. I say exhibition because we know how exhibitions are. In February 2022. And, you know, the reason why I say this makes sense, not because I think Mike Tyson should be fighting. I don't think he should be fighting. If I had my way, I think he shouldn't be allowed to fight. Even if it's an exhibition, he shouldn't be allowed to. He's too old now to do this, and there's too much damage getting done to his brain. And now you'll be thinking, well, it's just Logan Paul, but what's Logan Paul? He's 190 pound, 200 pound. A punch off someone who knows how to punch, because he does know how to punch, whether you like it or not. He's been training boxing for years now, can still do damage, even to someone like Mike Tyson. And if you know anything about the human brain and about CTE and that sort of stuff, you'll totally agree with us. Punches don't even have to be hard to do a lot of damage. Now, Mike Tyson has had so many wars in his time. Obviously, it's affected his brain. At his age now of 51, does he really want to start getting punched in the head even more? You know, I didn't agree with the Roy Jones fight, having that, but, you know, it went ahead and Mike Tyson looked probably a bit better than I thought. It was Roy Jones who surprised us in that fight. Anyway, but I don't want to go on about that fight. I want to talk about this fight right here. So why do I think this fight makes sense? Okay, this is why. Mike Tyson said he's coming back, right? He's coming back to have an exhibition. And why is Mike Tyson coming back? He's not coming back because he wants to be heavyweight world champion. He wants not coming back because he wants fame. He's coming back because he wants this. He wants some money. Now, who could Mike Tyson fight to make the sort of money that he would make if he fought Logan Paul or Jake Paul? Or even KSI, I guess. But no, Logan Paul and Jake Paul is the main guys out there right now. Who could he fight to make that sort of money? No one. Not one person in the world. Even if he come back to fight Tyson Fury, he probably wouldn't make that money. Obviously, that would never happen. But I'm just saying, he's going to make more money fighting Logan Paul than anyone else on the planet right now. So that's why it makes sense, right? Now, also, people think Logan Paul is not a real boxer. They'll say he's just a YouTuber who's doing this to make some money, which, yeah, he's a YouTuber and he's making a shit ton of money. I'm fine with that. But if you disagree with this fight and you think he shouldn't be getting in there with Logan Paul, and the reason is because you think Logan Paul is not a real boxer, who would you rather Mike Tyson get in there? I'd love to know in the comments below, because if you think Logan's not a real boxer, but Mike Tyson's going in there just to do it for the money, then this should make so much sense to you if you're disagreeing with him getting in there with Logan Paul, right? Or am I wrong? I'd love to know in the comments below what your thoughts are on all of this. Okay, so I know Logan Paul is legit. I know he can fight. He's been in there with Floyd Mayweather and won rounds against Floyd Mayweather. I've been to Logan Paul's house. I've watched him train. I've watched him spar. I know he's legit. I know he can fight. He really can. Getting in there with Mike Tyson, you know, but it's an old Mike Tyson. He's getting in there with a 55-year-old Mike Tyson. You know, he's not the same. We all think of Mike Tyson as this absolute animal, this absolute monster who knocks people out in one round, which, you know, he's my favorite heavyweight fighter of all time. I love Mike Tyson, but he's not like that. You know, he's not. He's 55 years old. We've seen him in there with Roy Jones Jr. He's a lot slower. He's not as fit. He did 2-minute rounds. If this exhibition comes off with Logan Paul, I would be surprised if Mike wants to do 3-minute rounds, because I've seen him in an interview talking about how hard it was to train just for 2-minute rounds. So if he does do 3-minute rounds, that only goes in the favour of Logan Paul. And now you might be raging because I'm seeing the favour of Logan Paul, thinking, well, Mike Tyson's just going to knock Logan Paul out in 1 round. But there's people said that with Floyd Mayweather. Now I get, we've got a knockout artist in Mike Tyson compared to someone who's not a knockout artist in Floyd Mayweather, two completely different weights. But still, Mike Tyson, like I said, he's not the Mike Tyson that you probably think and that I probably think of when I think of Mike Tyson. And I'm going to say something now that might get under your skin and people will not like, but I believe in it, so I'm going to say it, is I think Logan Paul is the favourite in this fight. He's got age on his side. He's got activity on his side. He has got the size on his side. He's taller. He's bigger than Mike Tyson. As well, when Logan Paul is training for this fight, all he's going to do is focus on training to beat a Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is just going to do what he's done all his career. He's not going to change anything up like we've seen with Roy Jones. He'll be the exact same Tyson as we've seen with Roy Jones, where Logan Paul, and he's going to be focusing with Milton, his trainer, on beating Mike Tyson. So to me, he's got the advantage. I'm going to be speaking to Logan's coach very soon. He called us yesterday. Actually, it might have been about this, but I missed the call. And I'm going to keep you guys up to date with what I hear. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a video when I post it talking about this fight that might happen. Make sure you watch this video next, where I talk all about how Logan Paul earned so much money from fighting Floyd Mayweather. Click it here and watch this one next.